6. Command Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see everybody here on this Friday afternoon. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing? I can tell you right now, I don't need 3 streams running on my desktop. Just give me 1 second. In the words of Flight Deck to Sim, other professional streamers are available. Yeah, that was a user error on my part. I heard my voice 3 times. I think I'm good now. What is up, everybody? Good to see you here. Welcome back. I have a little bit of a surprise stream for you today. I'm throwing out all kinds of surprises, right? I didn't think I was going to stream today. Bet you didn't think we were going to fly PV8, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and I bet you didn't realize yours truly has picked up GSX. I figured, you know what? I was watching Christy using it, watching Jungly Sim using it on the Discord there in the members only section, so I said, screw it, I'm going to pick it up. Probably only going to use it during VA Friday streams, and we really try to mimic a real-world operation, SOPs, the timings of everything, because that's probably the biggest part that's missed in flight simulation. As much as and as realistic as we want to make our streams and your flights at home, the biggest thing that someone who's not an airline pilot is going to miss is the timing of everything. Now, today's stream, we're probably going to be a little bit off because I'm still getting the flow for the GSX menu, trying to get a flow how it all works. I think it'll be much better the further updates it gets, when Fenix comes out with an update that really makes it compatible. I think it's really going to be a great program, but we're going to do our best today. We are flying this absolutely amazing, juicy Northwest livery here with the dirt on the engines and just awesome livery. I think this is my favorite Fenix livery so far. Not just because of the colors or whatnot, but the way that it's done and the amount of grime, it just looks like an old retro 320, and I absolutely am in love with it. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this one here. It looks like we got Tolless, or not Tolless, looks like we got the Tower line. Tower is coming up. Trevor's going to be joining Tower on VATSIM. That's awesome. We are on VATSIM tonight as well, headed over to La Garbage. What is up, Hayden? Good to see you, my friend. Felix says, I love old Phoenix feels. I love how old Phoenix feels. I hear you, man. You and me both. You and me both. So it's fitting for this particular stream because the Piedmont Virtual Historical Group, or PVA, is a very unique VA, and I'm going to talk about that when we get boarding. So if you have questions about it, the link is in the description below. You can immediately start browsing on yourself, the link for the PVA. If not, once we get the boarding process started, I will take a step back and we'll kind of talk about the PVA itself. But right now, they've got the catering trucks have arrived. Zachary J has dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, happy Friday, everyone. Same to you. This was a wonderful distraction from the struggles of my FOI written test prep. Oh, my goodness. Have the best Friday, sir. Zach J, man, I feel for you. Those FOIs, fundamentals of instructing, my friend. Principle of primacy. This is one thing I'll tell you, Zachary. As an instructor, the principle of primacy is probably your most important FOI. If I had to pick one that sticks out, primacy is huge when you start teaching other people about aviation and flying and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and do this. Aviator Trav is back on private pilot status. What's up, man? Welcome back. Glad to have you back on. Jeremy Harvey's in the house. Jeremy Harvey, love the countdown music, man. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait to finish off our celebration of the South America tour. Will probably be that long haul, so we'll get one more Latin America theme, and then we're going to be back to our regular theme, and I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, let's go ahead and fire this airplane up here. One more month again. Hi from Finland. Alexa, thank you so much for your continued support. Very much appreciated that. All right, so they are pulling away. Let's get this airplane fired up here, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on for the night. So back in the Phoenix, as usual, it's an Airbus. Let's power up those batteries. We got our proper voltages. Let's go ahead and get the external power on right away.
Refueling truck is on its way.
Refueling is on its way. Fantastic.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
Okay, I will do that. So this is kind of Christy was helping me out in the chat earlier about the GSX. So I'm going to just kind of work my way through it. Let me go ahead and get my sim brief imported, though, from here as well. So today we're operating Northwest Flight 357, Detroit to LaGuardia. Off block is 19Z. That ain't going to happen. We're going to be a little bit late, so it is what it is. I should have changed that. That's right. Sorry, Piedmont, I got you a delayed flight here already. But airplane is firing up. Let's go ahead and get this thing loaded and ready to go. Long-time viewer, first-time streaming. Brad Golson. Well, thank you for viewing the channel and viewing the content. Welcome on board. I hope you enjoyed the live stream tonight, my friend. Robinson said, I flew Northwest from Detroit to the garbage on a mighty 320 in 2008. Awesome, man. Awesome stuff. All right, FWC is firing up. That's all normal cautions. Let's go ahead and finish our overhead panel here. Crew oxygen can come on. Ground control can come on. CVR test. Captain per switch to the captain position. So I'm noticing something with Microsoft today, and I didn't notice this before. I don't know if setting changed in Windows, but I'm starting to get these flickers on certain objects, on edges of stuff, and I don't know if Microsoft is tweaking things behind the scenes, or if my GPU needs an update, or what, or if there was a Windows update. I just feel like stuff isn't as sharp as it used to be, but it still looks pretty good, I think. But I don't know what's going on with that flickering stuff. Let's get our ADIRs aligned, wait for the on-bat light. 1, 2, and 3. Did you fill your sim brief username GSX? I did, Zephyr. I did. You're absolutely right. Christy was helping me with that. I got the sim brief user ID in there, ready to go as well. On auto, arm the emergency exit lights. Landing elevation is in auto. We got a couple fault lights up here. That is a normal. Tank pumps are all off. Engine fire test 1. Engine fire test 2. Phantom already tested the APU up the right-hand side. Everything looks good on the overhead. Captain Schisler, thank you for the $10 super chat, sir. I will start flight school next week. Nothing better than watch a V1 stream on Friday and get ready for flight school. Captain Schisler, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you for your $10 super chat. Appreciate the support. I hope you enjoy the stream, my friend. And that's a very exciting time to be getting ready to start flight school. So listen, you're only a flight student once, and you only go through the beginning stages one time. So enjoy it, soak it up, and when you feel like you're drinking through a garden hose, just remember at the end of the day that, hey, you only get to do this one time, and try to enjoy it. Try to take the highs with the lows, you know. Thomas Garcia, thank you for joining. Welcome to Private Pilot, sir. Exclamation point, welcome. Chaos, you noticed that since the last sim update. Yeah, it looks like anti-aliasing is going awry. So like on this view, it's okay, but I still see some up here. This is a very nice freeware. Chaos, I say, hey, you are always a student. You're absolutely right. You are only a new student one time. I'll rephrase that, but you're absolutely right, Chaos. We are always students. Doesn't matter how far along you get in your career. You're always a student of aviation. That's just a good mentality to have. But you're only a new student once. You know, that's when you first break in. There's nothing like breaking into the scene of aviation for the first time. So it's very exciting. Aviation Mike, I'm having a fantastic day, my friend. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Gustavo's in the house. What's up, man? Those tests are important on the toll list where Phantom is the lead mechanic. I know, dude. I'm going to have to fire Phantom 320. He's been sabotaged us there. We're going to retire him from the mechanic position. V1 Sim is officially hiring a new maintenance technician for X-Plane 12 in the tollless Airbuses. All right, this is us, Northwest 357, Detroit LaGuardia. And Knit page here, request a Knit. Fuel truck never showed up, did he? Oh, there he is. We have a fuel truck arriving. He just did a 180 there. He's drifting around. Hey, wow. That was aggressive.
Fuel truck is in position.
Beautiful. Now what? I think it'll tell me. So I kind of want to see this happen myself. I haven't. So we're going to be late off the gate because I had the wrong Zulu time on SimBrief. That's okay. But I kind of want to see this happen. Now, these guys are either 3 feet tall or this is a giant A320. A little bit of a distorted there. I think that's just Microsoft. But, I mean, the detail is pretty good. What is he lowering there? So, oh, so you don't bump into it? That's cool. I'm kind of seeing this all for the first time myself. I hope you guys don't mind looking at this, see if it's worth picking up. You know, GSX is $30. It's a price of an airplane, more than half the price of the Fenix itself. I don't know. This is my first go with it. You know, I think it'll be enjoyable for those who really want to simulate the timing. Like I said, the timing of real flights and stuff. Oh, that's a hose coming around. I see. We're just pulling the hose around, putting it to the ground pump. So he's going to use the tank, using the tank under the ground with the trunk as a pump to fill it into the wing on a single point refueling underneath. Okay, cool deal. I appreciate that. I think it's going to be much better, though. I think GSX is going to be amazing when we get a couple more updates. So it's more maybe like natively compatible with the Fenix. But right now, this is not too bad. Climbing the ladder up on top. Never refuel the airplane with a belt loader there instead of a truck ladder. Ask me how I know. I've seen a guy. I've been part of that. I've watched it happen. If we get time and cruise, I'll tell you that story where we dumped all the fuel out on the ramp.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Okay, we will do that. So we'll come back into the cockpit, go to weight and balance, and I'm just going to go ahead and go in tanks. I got 21,000, planned is 13, so we got a lot more gas than we need. Load aircraft, instant. Beautiful. Dismiss. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do that. With that loaded, now we're going to go back to the GSX menu. And now we can start actual people boarding, I believe.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
I did. Now
Boarding
boarding.
requested.
Let's go. So we got fuel on board, fuel in tanks. Beautiful. They're going to start boarding. Let's go ahead and finish getting the airplane set up here. So today we are NWA 357. Put that in here. Do we have an alternate? I don't. Yeah, we do. Boston is our alternate. That might make GSX wig out having more in it than you need. Thanks, Piedmont. I will check it out, man. I'll make sure that we don't. I mean, is he just going to... I think he might just stand there now, right? Because...
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
I thought I did that. Let's see, Piedmont. Fuel capacity. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Pilot's boarding starting.
It's wigging out. Can I just tell the fueler to go away? Oh no.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
Oh, rip. Oh, on your FMC maybe? Let's try that. That's a good point. McDo, Atsu. Nope. It's not in the AOC menu, right? It's in over here. It's in config, fuel. let's take 13,000. Let's just take 13.8. Let's see if we do this.
Crew boarding starting.
Oh, nope. 13,800. Okay. Loading 12,500 pounds. Okay, well, we're going to see what happens. We might totally be screwed. I was supposed to choose real-time load. Whoops. All right, let's go ahead and just... I think it's working. They're not complaining. And I think the pilots are coming down to the cockpit. We can't see them on this jet bridge, unfortunately. But, yeah. All right. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and get this fired up. The fuel on board needs to be less than what you need when you ask. Oh, Piedmont, that makes sense. Okay, so you have to make sure
that...
Crew
has boarded.
Thank you. You have to make sure that the fuel
Passengers
on board...
boarding starting.
Thank you. You have to make sure that the fuel on board is less than what you need. I got you. Detroit ATIS, what do we have here? Foxtrot, what are they taking off on? Detroit is taking off 2-2s, 2-2 right. Oh, no, that's the landing approaches. 2-2 right, Zulu, RNF departures in use. 2-1 right and 2-2 left. 2-1 right and 2-2 left. So you'd think I'd know Detroit by now. Let's go ahead and see which runway we're going to get. Piedmont, I think I got lucky there. We're just tweaking around and fixed it. But I will definitely make sure that next time. Again, this is my first run through with this here. All right, Detroit Metro Wayne ground charts 10-9. 2-1 is going to be a long taxi. 2-1 right. It won't be too bad. All right, 2-1 right. We'll plan for that. Yeah, we'll plan 2-1 right. So let's come back down here. Departure, 2-1 right, and then the rest of our flight plan. So we are 2-1 right. And according to this, I got to fetch it from the server. We're on the Pavel 2. Please tell me I have it. There it is. Thought I had a wrong database. Pavel 2, and we're going out to SB transition. Insert that. That looks good. Chardon, Keating, then we're going to pick up LaGuardia, MIP-4. Not sure what they're landing, but let's just set up. What do you guys want to see? You guys want to see, I don't know what they're landing. I'm going to just put in, why don't we put in the Loke 3-1? Just for now. And then if we have ATC or something, we got to change it, we'll change it. But we'll do MIP-4, and we're coming in from the Keating transition, Echo Tango Golf. Insert that. That is good. Secondary, let's do a quick secondary. I got burned yesterday. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? It was yesterday when we streamed in the Tolus. Man, always put your secondary flight plan in there. Good habits, and I don't know how many times I've done it on this channel, and then I didn't do it, and we ended up getting an engine failure and got screwed. They're using the Expressway 3-1. That's awesome. All right, that's awesome. If we have to come back, let's just land on 2-1 left, ILS 2-1 left, that's fine. Secondary perf. We'll go all the way over to the approach phase. That's all we care about. I don't know what it is barometrically. Let's just see. Hit the magic B key, which is 1022. In freedom units, it's 3018. We're at 600 field elevation. Let's call it an 812 MDA. I'm not sure what it actually is, but I don't want to look it up. 812. It's a visual day. We don't think we're going to need it anyway. We'll zero the winds out. Temperature off the ECAM is 28 Celsius. And QNH is, we just said it, 3018. That is set. Beautiful. Secondary is done. RadNav, nothing to hard tune yet on this one. Progress page, I'm just going to put Detroit Metro in here. Perf data, we'll leave that. Init B, let's come over. Oh, let's finish the Init A. We're going cost index of. Now, we are flying with PVA, so let's see what the company filed us with on our flight plan. For cost indexed. We are cost indexed today at, and again, I'm using that VAMSys plugin. I love it. It's pretty cool. Cost index of 30. All right, so we'll do 30. And we're cruising over there at 37. That seems a little bit aggressive for this flight, but We'll put it in the box. That's done. Secondary's done. I think we're pretty much ready to go. Init B, we're sitting there on that. Northwest used 50 default for them. Uh-oh, Piedmont, we have somebody questioning the company cost index for this route. He says 50. Paperwork says 30. I'm going to do what the paperwork says right now, but we can change it. We have 13.8 on board on the tanks. That's all that matters. So I'm going to put that in the block fuel. We'll stand by on 0 fuel weight CGs. We'll go VOR mode over here.
Detroit Tower, 795 Whiskey, radio check.
We have a message, so let's come over here. What do we got? A company message on here. AOC, receive messages. You should not have done a secondary, so we would have another engine failure. Gosh. Yes, I know. Isn't that amazing how that happens, Christy? Like, how many times have I streamed and done a secondary flight plan and had an engine? The last engine failure we had on stream, I think, was Cancun in the Tolis. And I had a secondary ready to go on that one, but that was months ago, maybe even a year ago. All right, we got our flight plans accepted. Our flight plan is in the box. We have ATC on. Let's go ahead and get ready to call him up for a clearance. Detroit Tower is online on 28.125. Piedmont says 50 is pretty aggressive even for pre-2000. Yeah, see, I'm not sure. Have to ask Gustavo. 2812. Takes forever to scroll this. That's the only thing. I wish we could zip it a little bit faster. 2812 for Tower, 128. That's on COM 1, VHF 1. We are loading. How many passengers we got back here? Matter of fact, we probably see them. Keep the door open. Well, let's go ahead and call. Back when X-Plane was still a thing. Oh, yeah, we only have 37 people on board. So we got plenty of time. Let's call them up here. I'm going to use the chat as a paper, a scratch paper. And before I do that, I should probably pull up. No, we're good there. So here we go. We're looking
at station radio check, Mr. Pack.
Loud and clear. Like very, very loud and clear, my friend. All right. Metro Tower, good afternoon. Northwest 357 with Foxtrot. Pick up IFR to LaGuardia.
Northwest 357, it's Metro Tower. You are cleared to the LaGuardia Airport on the Pavel 2 departure as we transition. Then as filed, climb by the SID, departure offline, squawk 4170.
Cleared to LaGuardia, Pavel 2 departure as we transition as filed. Climb via SID, squawking 4170 for Northwest 357.
Northwest 357, read back is correct. Pushing the ramp at your discretion. Call me short of uniform capacity. Plan for 21 right.
Plan at 21 right. We'll call you short of uniform. Northwest 357. Boom. All right. Beautiful. As filed. Gotta love that. We've got climb via the SID. So let's pull out our departure charts here. Oh, I already had it up. And we're going to look at the Pavel 2. Pavel 2, I don't remember flying that one in recent history. I remember when Metro only had the Detroit departure as like a basic VOR departure, and then they came up with all these RNAVs. Funny story about Detroit. If you're taking off on, it might be the Pavel 2. Is it the... No, I think if you're taking off northbound, one of these departures, if you don't put your phone in airplane mode, you'll ping a Canadian... You'll ping a Canadian cell tower, and it'll charge...
Metro Tower, I read you much lighter now.
Where am I looking at? Oh, well, those are... Am I blind? Departures, Detroit. Howl, Kevlov, Lids, Metro 3. There it is. I am blind. Let's star that one so we don't have to find that again. Get a pen and paper. I literally have no pen and paper in this office. That's a lie. I think I might have one of my old flight kits on the ground. But all right, Pavel 2 departure. This is it. It's an RNAV off the ground, off 2-1. At or below. Speed departure, 280. We're going to pre-select that to 250. And top altitude is 17,000. So that makes our life a little bit easier. We'll just set 17,000. We got to climb via. Not going to be an issue. We'll recycle these flight directors here. Oh, we don't have V-speed set. So 17,000 is set. Let's talk about pre-selecting. I'm going to turn off the radio real quick. We don't have to listen to it. Oh.
You look like you've got some older scenery there. Ramp movement
we're going to just do that for now. So let's talk about pre-select here real quick in the perf page. So on this departure procedure, we have a speed restriction of 280 knots after 10,000 feet. There's a couple different ways you can set this up. You can either like you could make a transition altitude change or whatnot, but the easiest, fastest way in the Airbus to handle a speed restriction on departure is using the pre-select window here in the climb page. Remember, this is the climb phase. Now, because the speed restriction says at above 10,000 feet, accelerate to 280 knots. Now, a cost index climb out speed is not populated yet, but it's probably going to be higher than that. It might be 300, 310, or it could be lower than 280. So if you don't pre-select it or you don't manually select 280, you're going to be off and you're going to be messing up traffic distances for departure. So you could put 280 in here, but the problem with pre-selecting 280 is as soon as you go manage speed after takeoff and flap 0 and the speed bug, it's going to go to 280 knots. It's not going to go to 250. So you're going to basically put yourself in a bad spot to be speeding below 10,000. So what I do is I will just pre-select 250. That way, once I hit 10,000 feet, I'm still going to be at 250 knots. I'm going to realize, hey, I need to speed up here. I will just manually select 280 knots, and now we're good to go. If you pre-select 280, it's going to go 280 below 10. Not really ideal. Just keep it pre-select 250. That way it doesn't change to your cost index climb out speed and you violate the departure and mess up all the spacing between aircraft. So that's the quickest, fastest, best way, in my opinion, to handle the speed restriction on departure here. And that looks good to go. As far as speeds, we're going to leave that. Thrust reduction, engine out, everything looks good there. We're going to wait for the passenger boarding to kind of finish. We got 65 passengers on board. Now, I think, how do I look at passengers? Let me come back here. Oh, hello. Let's come back here and let's greet the folks coming into the airplane. Let's take a look at some passengers coming out. North flow with east departure will end up flying you, sir, Sarnia. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is not a very good camera angle, is it? Oh, she's grooving. All right, welcome. Happy Friday, Brad K. What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. What does the recycle the flight directors? I was trying to swap out that speed in the FCU, but because we don't have any init information in there, it won't put the dashes in just yet. So just it's kind of a limitation of what we have in the sim with the way we get our init-B info right now, but don't worry about it. It's just something I'm accustomed to doing. It doesn't affect the airplane or change the airplane in any way, shape, or form. GNR says this is horrific. Lauren says Pavel is pretty much only for arrivals to New York. Awesome. Okay, Lauren, thank you for that. Appreciate it. So that might be, wow, that guy was tatted up. That looked like Jungly Sim. Jungly Sim's got a facial tattoo like that. The Pavel 2 going to New York. Okay, so maybe that's why I'm not too familiar with it. Baggage loading is at 83. Ooh, let's take a look out here. Let's see how they're doing on the baggage. I forgot. That's much more pleasant to watch than those people coming in here. I'm actually going to go into the drone cam. Let's do this. Where are you going with the bags? I just wanted to watch. Are they going to go get more carts or something? He's driving away. This is kind of neat. Oh, he's going to collapse the loader. Look at this. He's actually going to collapse the loader and pull it away. All right. Howard Jinx, what's up, man? Welcome. All right, well, I wanted to... Oh, that's cool. They're closing the doors. Awesome. That's so cool, man. All right, I think I'm really going to enjoy GSX here in a little bit. We'll wait for the rest of the passengers to load. We'll just kind of hang out on the jump seat. We got some time left. Everything is set up in the box. We got 79 of 143, so we have a little minute to chat here. I want to talk a couple things, hit a couple tips about the PVA and why we're flying PVA. What is PVA? I haven't flown this VA in a really, really long time. But what I really think stands out about this virtual airline is the way that they have routes and airlines for you to fly. So the way the PVA guys do it is they have seasons, and each season has different carriers that you're going to be able to fly. And this is a retro-based virtual airline. So it's not just a hodgepodge of, oh, you can just fly old airlines on modern routes and whatnot. No, these guys, Piedmont and the guys that work over here on this PVA virtual historical group, they really put the time and effort in finding the right slots, the right airframes for the route, and the right airlines that flew those routes. So every time that they shift seasons, you'll get a couple new airlines. Now, it being the Piedmont virtual historical group, Piedmont will always be there. So you can always fly your Piedmont aircraft. You can fly your 727s, your 73 Classics. That will always stay. But they rotate through several different airlines. And in this current, I believe in the summer season for PVA, Northwest is part of the job. So we're doing pre-1990s Northwest ops here, which reminds me, maybe we should set up, let's change our config here on the Fenix here. I bet they didn't have any ISS. So let's go ahead and configure the airplane a little bit more retro here. Panel states, nope, sim settings, and airline modifiable. I know they didn't have auto TCAS. Probably, I don't know if they would have had LDEV. I mean, I don't even have LDEV now. I'm not sure where that comes from. Nav and go around, no. Brake fans, no. Ice detection, probably not. Yellow hydraulic steering, yes. And let's go to units. That's all normal. RAs are normal. And let's do, this needs to be on for my setup. Where is the, there we go. DDRMI and analog. That's what we need. That looks better. Let's uncage this. Does the VA require Pegasus? Yes, so this one runs off of Pegasus as well, and I'll show you guys. I got distracted. So I'll show you my Pegasus software. That once you load up your flight on the website, you go right here and you have download this Pegasus software, and boom. So right now, this is us. This is what I'm getting all my information from. If this is pre-90s, did Northwest have 320s back then? I think so, or else it wouldn't have been there. Unless Piedmont is lying to me, or just being nice and letting me fly the Phoenix. I'm pretty sure... Oh, you know what? Maybe this isn't pre-90s. It was, I was thinking of Northwest Airlink, Jeremy. So I really wanted to have the BAE 146, which was Northwest Airlink. But that was post-1990, so you can't fly the Northwest Airlink BAE 146s in PVA yet. But maybe in the winter season, maybe they'll add that. But pre-1990, yeah, they had some old, these are like some of the first 320s that were coming out. So these were old, much older airplanes. I don't even know, I'd be curious to see if any of these tails are in circulation. I can't imagine that they'd still be in circulation. They're probably timed out by now. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at here for this VA. We've got the ACARS page, which shows you we started the flight, everything is good. The operational flight plan, this is where I'm getting all my stuff. You can dispatch it from SimBrief, and it brings you all your stuff that you need right here. And then this is a really cool feature. Like I like seeing who else is flying PVA. You get a radar and everything. But this is us today. We're going to be going Detroit to LaGuardia, real-time weather map, and live player map in your virtual airline as well. So I'm going to keep this off screen so you don't have to look at it the whole time, but if you guys wonder where to get all the information, your flight plan and all this stuff, this is what I'm looking at. It's just on a different screen. But how we doing on people here? Get ready to start the APU. Getting ready to start the APU. But anyway, the work that Piedmont and the moderators and admins at PVA have put into this airline is really like nothing I've really come across. The historical accuracy, the documents, the liveries, it is all there when you sign up and join. And it's hardcore, so don't just think you're going to go in and hodgepodge some routes you want to fly an old airplane on it. You have to make sure it's a legit route, a legit airframe, and that airline has to be in the current season for the PVA guys. But it gives you a reason to fly these older airlines, and I cannot wait. The reason I haven't been in it recently is because I love flying the 7.2. I think the last flight we did was in the 727 for this VA. Maybe it was the 146, but regardless, if you want to have a reason to fly these older retro airplanes, especially as we start to get some to Microsoft, that 757 that's going to be coming out, if you want to fly it on some old retro routes and retro airlines, this is the VA that you're going to absolutely love. And especially if you like Piedmont in general, just maybe you have some history with Piedmont growing up, it is awesome. They have a whole fleet pack with all accurate tail numbers. It really is a fun little retro VA to be a part of. And it's just, and the guys that run it are awesome too. So Piedmont's in the chat. He's also in the Discord. Very knowledgeable in this stuff. It's not, I can't stress that enough. This is not a hodgepodge operation. It's all legit based on factual information. Even parking stands, guys, even parking stands. Like it's legit. Speaking of which, I don't know where I need to park in LaGuardia, but I guess we'll figure it out. Probably just go to the Delta gates because I have that new scenery. Felix, all the liveries that they have will be like either in the Discord section, if you look in their Discord for like they might have some pinned messages, but online and on the forums of the VA itself, they'll have links where you can go download the liveries. So some are still in circulation. Gustavo says the Airbus 320, serial number 309 US. Wow. First date was 1/8/1990. Flew today from YYZ to Atlanta. Wow, Gustavo. Is that on Delta? Is it a Delta? Is Delta still operating it? It must be. 309 US. Unless it's maybe, yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, Delta might have the old 320s, Bluemac. I think you're right. They had 20 airframes in 1990. Gotcha. Order was placed in 1986, and then delivery started coming out. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, Piedmonters rattling this info off. This is legit information. So it's cool to be, when you get in and you fly this old retro airplane on a retro route, you get a different level of satisfaction than, say, just flying, I'm going to load up a old school flight and go from here to here, my two favorite airports. You put a little bit more into it, and when you're done flying, you get that little extra satisfaction. Oh, CFG fix for Caravan, AJ Caps. Let me start the APU, and I will see if I can do that here right now. I'll put it in the Discord. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to fire up the APU. We're just about ready. And what else we got? Our fuel is in tanks, right? It is in tanks, and it is balanced. So let's do this. Let's go fuel tank pumps on. Seatbelts on. Fire up the APU. And we're just finishing the boarding process right now. Yeah, Jeremy, old software loads, like original software loads. EIS-1, it was probably just, I don't even know if it was labeled. I'm sure it was labeled, but yeah, it was OG software, Jeremy. Hawks, good to see you, man. Welcome on board. Good to see you, Hawks. Welcome to the stream, man. Who was asking about the CFG fix for the Caravan. I can't do it quite right now because right now I just have the actual file and I don't want to pin a payware file. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get the actual edits, and I'll just pin that. So I'm sorry I've totally spaced on that. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to that CFG fix. I will try to get that going for you here before I go home today. I'm actually going to put a little note down right here so I don't forget. All right, APU is online. Let's go ahead and do a couple other flight stuff here. Let's plan our takeoff weights. Let's get a prelim going here. Funny enough, Delta maintained the FMGC and all stuff up to date, even in the old for airframes. That's crazy, man. I mean, it's like having an old paid-off car, right? It's paid off by now, easily. So we are expecting 2-1 right. Sync live weather, calculate that. Let's see what kind of information we're looking at. 37, 40, 41, flaps 1, beautiful. We're not gonna flex it. We're not gonna flex. Pre-1990, I don't think we used flex temps. I don't know, did they? They probably did. I wasn't flying Airbus in 1990, I'll tell you that much. I'm not that old. What was I gonna do? Oh, I need to come over here and get our actual weights. Only one more passenger to go. 129.4 and 30.2. 129.4 and 30.2. And it be done. Denver Stapleton Airport, that's gone? Yeah, I remember that airport, Jeremy. Or at least I know of it. $37.40.41. Field Air LaGuardia. Yeah, that's what I have. 137. What was the speeds? Dang it. Really missed the way the toll listed it. 37.40.41. All right, that's all set. We're all good to go up top. External power come off. APU bleed come on. We'll be on APU power. Let's go back over to the Fenix tab. Oh, I should have done force Toga. It's all right. We're going to run flex numbers with the Toga takeoff. It'll be fine. Toga is always available. I'm going to go ahead and pull the, because they're not connected to GSX, so we got to pull the chocks and the GPU. Now, I think GSX will automatically close the door, right? So they already got the stairs off. Now let's prep for pushback. All right. So we are, I originally said I wanted to do a 1940 departure. Look at that, 1938. So we started the stream at 1900. Why can't I hear them? I thought I would be able to hear them. Where is... Huh. Don't they talk to you? What? Audio? No audio device. Oh no. I don't know why it won't let me. It won't pick up an audio device. That sucks. That's kind of weird. Oh, not the wing light, sorry. Beacon light on. V1, how's XP12 treating you? Been watching your videos recently. I've seen a lot of XP12 content. You know what, Hawks? It's two separate things about that. You know, the sim itself, I think, is obviously every letter of the word beta. It's not ready to be enjoyed by the masses yet, in my opinion. Now, as far as the airplanes that I've flown in there, the toll-less birds, I'm loving them. I love the failures we've been having. I love the new features of the toll-less airplanes, like the 319, 321. Loving those. I think they did a good job of getting those in 12. The platform itself, though, I don't know if I'm ready to just go down the rabbit hole of adding sceneries and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. All right, let's do it. Before start check, let's windows, doors, and slides, closing arm, beacon on, thrust levers, idle, parking brake is tiller cam off. Please set park brakes immediately. Oh, sorry. Brakes set. I thought you needed the brakes off. What are they doing out here? Oh, we're doing a stupid lift. I forgot to change it to the pushback tug. That sucks. Because there's an actual pushback tow bar. Jeremy, you had a sound bug last night with that? Interesting. All right, can I release the brakes now? So this is what I mean about GSX being a little bit not ready. Do I do continue pushback? Departure clearance requested. Nose, right, tail, left. Locking gear. Do I release the brakes yet? Brakes released. Go to push. Come on. Whoa, what happened? Yes. Commencing pushback. Clear to start engines. There we go. I'll do the audio for you. Cockpit to ground cockpit. Go ahead. You ready for brake release? Yes, sir. Brakes release. Stand by. We're calling for push. Ramp. Northwest 357 Alpha 68 push. Northwest 357 push tail south. Call me back. Ready taxi. Clear to push tail south. Northwest 357. Cockpit to ground. Ground cockpit. Go ahead. Brakes release. Clear to push tail south. Copy. Commencing pushback. The horn. Then we go. There you go. I did the whole convo for you right there. Smash the like button for that conversation. We're underway. Yeah, this wing walker is well, at least she's walking with the airplane. Got a little bit of a limp. Daniel, what's up? Greetings. Is it normal for the Phoenix to feel more sluggish and less sensitive than the Tolson flight factor, or your experience different? Daniel, my experience, I don't feel like it's more sluggish or less sensitive. I think a big part of that has to do with your settings and your joystick settings. For the Phoenix, I use a -14 curve on both pitch and roll. And that's with my setup with the joystick with the Warthog base. I think it feels really good. But that is, I think it goes undervalued is how you have your settings in your joystick configured. So make sure you try to have that curve on there, and it feels pretty good. And remember, the Phoenix is bigger than the 319. It's a 320. So it's going to feel a little bit more sluggish than the 319, but it should still feel less sluggish than a 321. All right, I assume he's saying set brakes. Brakes released, or sorry, brakes are set. Clear to disconnect. I think. Come on. No? Oh. Who wants me to start? I just want, we'll start him up. Oh, goodness. All right. Cool. That was exciting. Let's go ahead and start engines to get out of here. Enough of this. Turning engine 1. I hope the bleed is on. Is the bleed on? It is. Starting engine 1. Here we go. Enjoy the startups or lack thereof. Yeah, Piedmont. I saw that on my test flight. I forgot to change it in the settings on this one because I switched gates and stuff. That was a solid 10 on the Richter scale. Yeah, we dropped this pretty good. When was the last time you flew from Motor City in real life? Jack Mackey, I cannot tell you. Actually, let me look at my phone. I got my schedule on it. It's been a minute. I don't think I've been to Detroit. I remember my last Cat 3 Autoland was in Detroit, believe it or not, but I don't think it's been in recent months. You know, I think it was maybe way back in the spring. All right, we got a good start on engine 1. Do we do single engine taxi here at Northwest? Let's go ahead and start 2. We don't got time for that. We're starting 2. With GSX, you can start engines when pushing without fear that the push will stop. Thank you, Christy. That's, you know, the default pushback kind of freaked me out. But it does have, that was the best part of this GSX was the tow bar, and I totally forgot to set that up in the settings. Oh, well. Oh, well. -14 curve, sorry. They did single engine taxi at Northwest in the 80s? Well, we're late. We're not going to get our bonus points today. Those textures are spot on, though, aren't they, Felix? I love that dirt on that old CFM. Absolutely amazing. All right, just waiting for that avail light. We're doing flaps 1 Toga with flex numbers, so we're going to get there quick. There it is. Normal. Boom. Let's extend it from back here. Flaps 1. Love it. Up to the overhead. APU bleed is off. That is off. Taxi light is on. let's go. Short of uniform, we'll give them a call. After start checklist, engine anti-ice, soft yellow, electric pump is off, rudder trim 0. After start checklist is complete. We're moving. Brake check, pressure 0. Missed my flyby cam. Tiller base is getting loose. Alright, we're 3 north with information Foxtrot. And probably going to need to look at my 10-9 diagram for this. Alright. Metro Tower, Northwest 357, just short of uniform here, spot 3 north, ready taxi, Foxtrot. I'm on the wrong frequency. Whoops. Metro Tower, good evening, Spirit, or, what are we tonight? Northwest 357, 3 north, short of uniform, Foxtrot, taxi.
Northwest 357, Parkwood Charlie, runway 21 right, taxi uniform, Golf, Victor, Mike, cross 27 right, Golf.
Alright, taxi uniform, Golf, Victor, Mike, clear across 27 right at Golf, we'll squawk mode Charlie for Northwest 357. That's twice I forgot that. Phantom, what is going on with you, man? Echo, and that's on, that's standby. Alright, so we need to go uniform Golf Victor, so we're going to uniform Golf Victor Mike, cleared across 27 right at Golf. Let's do it. So right turn, right turn, and we're crossing.
357, squawk 4170.
4170, we gotta slap the FO, sorry about that.
Roger.
Come on, Phantom. Get it together, my friend. All right, let's go. Xander, exclamation point specs will give you my whole PC setup, but I've got an RTX 3090 and an i9, older generation i9.
Thanks for last minute stream. A good start to the weekend.
Alpha Mike, bank angle check right back at you, sir. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for the $5 super or a dono there. Appreciate you, man. Bank angle check right back at you, my friend. So this scenery is pretty good on the Flight Sim TO. It does seem to be a bit heavy on the frames, but we'll be good to go. I think we'll be good. As soon as we take off, it should smooth out a little bit. Alright, so here is Gulf. We're going to turn left. We're clear to cross. Benny, you're a member of PVA2? Awesome, man. Yeah, this is... I guess I just kind of forgot that they had the Northwest season all summer. I kind of forgot about that. Could have been flying some PVA on Friday instead of V-Spirit. I'm so used to doing V-Spirit on Friday. The status bar is broken. Rip. That might be because there's a GSX interface, I wonder. Alright, clear left, clear right, it's closed. Cleared across. We would get the lights, but it's too annoying to do the lights on the sim, so we're not going to do the lights. Ever consider streaming DC6? DC6 is just, it's so much work. Whoa, I feel like we're climbing. I hope we'll be okay. Now, isn't there a bridge here that somebody fell through before? Hold on. Is this the bridge that I watched a guy fall through the ground on XP stream?
221, squawk 4102.
I'm gonna be safe to cross this, right? Can I cross this?
Nope.
If we fall through the ground, I'm gonna be pissed. Let's go ahead and juice it here. We're gonna do a little bit of a. Let's just go. I'm gonna hold the brakes here. We're gonna just kind of zip across. We ain't gonna waste time.
Cessna 5, whiskey, traffic. Your 10 o'clock.
Go. I saw XP. He went a little bit left to center line on this bridge, and he made it. So I'm staying left to center line. Go. Brakes. Okay. Whew. We made it. Less than 148,000 pounds. We can't make a turn at 20 knots. We're good to go. We're at 16 knots. I watched XP's. XP's in the chat. What's up, XP? Dude, I remember that stream you did a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple days ago, where you were here in Detroit, and that guy was in front of you, and he fell through the bridge. I didn't even think about it until I was taxiing out. I just realized that was the same bridge. All right, we're good. If XP72 says you should be good, I think you're in trouble. Yeah. All right, man, that got my heart pumping a little bit. Let's do our flight control check before we get to the runway. Full up, full down, neutral, 0.1 down, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, doesn't work, full left, full right. I have to counteract it with the tiller in Microsoft. Neutral, auto brakes max, takeoff config is checked. Let's come down here, TARA on the panel. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. That is on. Departure is offline. Give them a forward call. 122.8 for Unicom. And we are ready to go. A little bit off center line here. I don't know why there's that blue line on that scenery. Let's go back over here.
American 221, looks like you have Yankee 9 there. Are you ready to go?
Ready to go, Yankee 9.
Roger, American 221, RNAV to Sam from the 22 left for takeoff.
V1 rotate, I know, man. That was a. Did not want to fall through that bridge. I've fallen through a bridge before in Tampa, right? That was the funniest thing about that Tampa scenario when we were doing V Spirit that night. I think it was quite literally the next day I flew to Tampa and crossed that same bridge in real life. That was the funny part. I remember taxiing on the ground.
357, traffic is a Cessna 152 coming over the numbers for the parallel. Additional traffic, Cessna 172 turning base to final for a 1 mile final for the parallel. RNAV, Joe Lou, runway 21 right, clear for takeoff.
RNAV to, what is it? RNAV to Jolu, runway 21 right, clear for takeoff. Yeah, Northwest 357. Almost said cactus that time. I said Spirit first time. I said cactus that time. That's what happens when we fly these VA Fridays. All right, we are cleared to go. We're going to keep it rolling. So I need all the likes we can. Smash that like button for me on this Toga takeoff. Let's do it. We're going to smash. Hey, I got an idea. Smash the like button if you want to see a rolling takeoff. They're more fun anyway. Look at there's a 172 coming into the screen on final. That's awesome. That's awesome. Spool them up 50. Smash the like button. Yoga's in chat. Whoa, yeah, that's the frames issue there on this scenery. Nose forward on the stick. Takeoff. Let's go. Amazing. Man, Toga, SRS nav, auto thrust is blue. You can see the speed select 250. That's normal. 80 knots, thrust set. 100 knots, check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Hero. This is going to be really loud. Watch your ears. Fly with. Freaking awesome.
I'm assuming it's just going back to where you're parking.
Get back to the command bars.
Cessna 5 whiskey, right when able, then right turn on whiskey cross.
Don't float the people in the back. Nice and easy here. Where's our positive trend? There it is. Let's get it back. There's the MCT. Thrust, climb, auto thrust.
American C-21 departures offline.
Speed flaps 0. Path takeoff checklist. Nose is pitching up. Look at that. That's so realistic.
Departures offline.
Hey, over to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. Northwest 357. Have a good one. Zoom. Have you ever done Toga in real life? You betcha, man. You betcha. Look at this climb out here. Oh, make sure your phones are in airplane mode. We're gonna get charged for a Canadian cell phone. Welcome to Canada. Love it. Oh, speeding. Should be about 10 and 250. I can't wait for Fenix to come out with their own engine model. I really think that's going to be awesome. Flying the toll the last couple days. Ooh, look, we got a speed out star. That's because of constraint at or below 7,000. Let's fly it. Let's fly it published. So we'll level 7,000. We'll just fly the published departure here for cinematic purposes. Leveling 7 in the left turn. But yeah, the one thing I really can tell that sticks out a lot more now is after flying the TOLIS, God, that looks so beautiful. And the engine model that they have is so good that I can, this default model, even though it's tweaked to make it as close as they can with what they had, it lacks for sure compared to what we have in the TOLIS with their dedicated engine models. And I'm not just talking about the IAE version versus CFM, but just the way the spool ups are, the startups, the fuel burns. Like this fuel burn is way low here, 740. Remember we were idling in the 319 at 750 pounds an hour. That was idle. We're doing 750 there. We're at 50% N1. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go autopilot 1 because I actually want to listen to the spool up. So we're going to sit here. We're going to hit this constraint, and then the airplane's going to spool up. It just sounds good from this view. Let's do it from this view right here. So this is like straight up passenger view. You hear the engines roll back, and then we're out constraint at 7. The airplane's going to climb here in a minute. How does hand flying between Fenix and TOLIS? Is TOLIS more realistic? Mohammed, you know, it's hard to say because of the drag model and the engine model in Microsoft. That part is inaccurate. But as far as just how does it feel to hand fly, like put it in a left turn, the bank required, back pressures required, I think are very comparable. And I don't think there's any glaring errors in that. Now, when you look at the numbers specifically in Microsoft, you can tell that they're definitely not as close to the real thing. But when you, oh, here we go. Love that. But when you just talk about, how does it feel to hand fly, the rotation, the flare, the roll, hand flying on approach, I think all are very good and they're very comparable. I really do. Now, when you start doing abnormal flight scenarios, like shutting down engines, doing abnormal yaw, adverse yaw, that I think is going to be superior in X-Plane for quite some time until we can get a little bit more of a CFD bubble around the airplane in Microsoft. That's the flight dynamics. Like they're going to roll back here at this next constraint. Any of my members remember the shorts video I did not too long ago? I did a shorts video right here. This is the exact same view. I should pull it up. I gotta pull it up. That's pretty funny. I did a shorts video a while back for my members. You guys enjoy the view here. I'm gonna look for a video real quick. When was it? I think it was... Is it this one? Oh, I might get a copyright strike because of the audio. It wasn't this one. this one? No. Ooh, that's a Virgin Atlantic A320 on that shorts video. Oh, well, I guess I can't find it. But it's just that shipping channel and everything there, I remember specifically that view. Oh well, I can't find it. Continuing on. Look at that. Look at that shot, though. Are you guys not impressed by that Microsoft? I mean, that is just, it impresses me every time. It really does. Like, that is just impressive. MT, looking for the window views. Exclamation point wing view. Here, I'll do it for you here. That's GNR, exactly. We would print screen that. Check out this video, Mr. AKA Big Daddy. And that'll get you started, my friend. Alright, we're well below above 10 now. I forgot we're probably going to get fined for not having our lights off. Sorry, Piedmont. Probably damaged your mechanisms. So we should have been at 280. That was another thing above 10. But let's go ahead and manage it up now. We'll do a cost index climb out speed of 315. There's 17. Let's go all the way to our cruise altitude of 37,000 feet. We'll go ahead and pull for open. Thrust climb, open climb, 370 blue. Airplane is doing airplane things. We'll come down here, secondary, copy active, nothing in the hard tune page. And then we want to monitor Delta operations in COM 2. 121.5. And we put that up like that. Put that back on 1. Perfect. You don't need custom window views for the Phoenix. You can just open the door and set them up. Exactly. So, MT, to set up the window view in the Phoenix, you don't have to do the first step of that video, which is unlocking yourself from the cockpit. You can literally just open the door and maneuver your keys around. But pay attention to how he binds his keys, because that is key. Once you have your key binding set up, it's very easy to put any custom view you want, whether you want to be behind the wing like this, whether you want to look at this wing right here. Oh my. Is that not real life? Are we in real life right now? Let me go ahead and go full juice mode here for you. I don't know why the overlay is broken. We're just going to go ahead and we'll get rid of it. I'm not going to mess with it right now. We'll go ahead and kill fly live. We'll just go maximum juice. Clean screen. Look at that. You wish the clouds were less gray? Are they pretty gray over here? Let's take a look. Yeah, they do tend to get gray on you. But that still looks amazing. Can you pull some circuit breakers? No, we're not pulling any circuit breakers today. We're trying to operate this under a oh, look at that. I never noticed that there. That little N, Northwest, on the wingtip fence. That is amazing. I love this sim. I love this airplane. But no, we're trying to operate this flight as smoothly as possible, or smooth as possible for our VA. We don't want to be doing any offline diversions. We don't want to be doing anything we can't, you know. We can if we have to, but we want to try to keep it as realistic as possible. We're going to set standards across the board. I don't think I ever changed this one, so it should still be 1013 is set. And it seems to be a smooth ride. So it's a smooth ride, climbing up to 37. It's a short flight. We haven't even been bumped once, so let's go ahead and get the seatbelt sign off early. Let them roam. We'll keep an eye on the window view here, see if we start getting bumped around. Do I prefer the older or newer Northwest? I like the older one. I do. I really like the older one. That bowling shoe is hard to beat, man. Gustavo says Delta should paint the winglet in all winglets. Oh, but they only do it in the 350 because of the flagship. That's interesting. Cool deal. Sim update 10 clouds are supposed to be better? Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to Sim Update 10. Unfortunately, it's delayed, right, until a couple months, I think. Have I sent the printer rip to Boris yet? Chaos. I'll do it right now, man. Let me see if I can find it. I'll see if I can look it up and find it. I got to do that and the CFG fix. How much does sharklet affect control of the aircraft in real life? Lucifer, it's as far as controlling the aircraft, there is a little bit that you can tell the difference physically, but really only in the flare. When you're coming into land, the sharklet aircraft will float a little bit more than a standard wingtip fence aircraft. And that, if you really think about why the airplane floats, it makes perfect sense, because ground effect is measured upon, where my CFI is in chat, isn't it like half the wingspan, half the aircraft's wingspan in altitude above the ground? So if you had a 100-foot wingspan at 50 feet, you would really start to feel that ground effect start to take place. So the longer the wing, the more ground effect, or the sooner you're going to start feeling that ground effect. And then, of course, as you get closer to the ground, the more amplified it's going to be, to an extent. It's not linear math, but that's the basics of it, right? So when you think about sharklet aircraft, they actually extend the wing about 3 feet on each side. So a standard 320 wing-tip fenced aircraft like this, our wingspan is 111.10. It's 110 feet, 5 inches. 111.10 and 111.10 and 117.5. So 111 feet, 10 inches, and 117 feet, 5 inches for a sharklet. So you're adding about 3 feet of wing on each side. So you're expanding that wingspan a little bit. So that would make sense when you think about ground effect. Yeah, you're going to start to feel it a little bit more, and it's going to be a little bit more compacted when you get in right in that round out and flare. But it's very subtle. It's there, but it's subtle. Where the sharklets really do change things is the fuel. It's much more fuel efficient long term. And you multiply that across a fleet of aircraft, it can really save some money. MT Big Daddy, thank you so much, man, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Says, I love the instruction on flight systems in the cruise. One day doing a windmill start on stream. Oh, ooh, we haven't done a windmill. Well, we did a windmill start yesterday, or crossblade would be hugely helpful. Accidentally cut the fuel in the 7.3. I couldn't restart. Big Daddy, I appreciate your support, man. Thank you for that super chat. And we did a windmill start in the Totless 319 yesterday. We restarted. So if you want to check that out, it was the stream I did yesterday right on departure out of Phoenix, man. We lost an engine. We went through shutdown. Then we did the relight procedure, and we did the windmill assisted start. So we already had some N1 rotation because of our forward airspeed. And then, of course, we had a crossbleed open, and we were able to turn it over. We got her started. Now, there is a separate checklist for what you're trying to get at, like a specific windmill start, but I'll check that. I'll maybe have to do that in the future, but I appreciate your support, man. Thank you. Gustavo, you're off the meeting. We'll take care, my friend. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you. Yes, Blue Mac, it generates more lift as well, but really where the sharklet bakes it better is reducing drag, not so much lift. Now, it will increase lift a little bit, like I said, because you're adding about 7 feet in total of wingspan area, but where it really increases the fuel economy is reducing the induced drag of the aircraft. So you have induced drag, and then you have parasitic drag. And I'd have to refresh my memory on the textbook definition of both. But basically, parasitic drag is stuff hanging off the airplane. Think of parasites. So when you lower landing gear, that's parasitic drag. When you extend flaps full, that's parasitic drag. Spoilers, in-flight spoilers, so there's a parasitic drag. Induced drag is due to the natural tendencies of the airflow over the wing. So induced drag will vary greatly upon airspeed, as will parasitic drag, but they're opposite if you look at them on a drag chart. Now this is going to get confusing and complex, but what I'm going to really dumb this down, and dumb down not as an insult, but I'm going to really try to simplify this explanation. I'm actually going to go outside view for this. So where the sharklets really help the wing in reducing induced drag is on the wing tip. Now I want to try to get it like really quiet. Well, not off. How about like, okay, that's fine. So if we look at the back of the airplane, we have wingtip vortices coming off these wings, right? So they're spiraling off this tip and they're going down and out. So they're going down and out this way, down and out that way. That spiraling effect that comes off these wingtips, these vortices, is because you have air moving over the top of the wing at a faster velocity than air going under the wing. Okay, so you have faster air over the top, slower air over the bottom. That's back to the basic principles of lift, right? But where they meet here on the wingtip, this faster air and lower speed air meet and they start this spiraling effect. That is your wingtip vortices, your wake turbulence. That's where it all comes from. But that also drags down the aircraft. That creates drag here on the wingtips. So when you put a sharklet on this aircraft, what the sharklet is designed to do in very simple terms is to help reduce that effect of that blending induced drag coming off the wings. Now, is it that simple? No, but that's just a very simple explanation of what that sharklet really, that's where you really get the fuel efficiency, is reducing the induced drag on the wing itself. So that's kind of a breakdown, and that's, why airplanes with wingtip fences and winglets and sharklets, that's one thing Boeing really got right, is they had their winglets. Airbus eventually came around and said, okay, well, we need sharklets. Sharklets are more fuel efficient than the wingtip fence, but a wingtip fence is still more efficient than nothing out there. So, I mean, back in the early days, they didn't have anything on these wingtips, which would be cool. It'd be a cool little option to have. But yeah, that's a very basic breakdown of sharklets and why they make the airplane a little bit more efficient, and also why you feel a little bit more float or a little bit more fluff in your landing. Oh, that's a beautiful shot right there. Goodness. Have you ever flown with an FO who was a watcher of a channel and recognized you? No, I have not yet, Eddie. I have not. Thanks for the review. Got a commercial ground class exam next week. You're welcome, Dub. I hope I said it right. I mean, I keep saying this, but I would love to do a basics ground, like lift. What is lift? That was my favorite subject to teach as an instructor, believe it or not. A basic thing to teach was lift. I always loved teaching the science of lift and how lift works, because I think a lot of times students early on will be like, yeah, that makes sense. So my instructor told me this is how it works, and that's how it works. But they don't fully get it. And I have like when you become an instructor, at least where I was, you had to make all your own lesson plans and everything. So I have all my lesson plans. As a matter of fact, I think they're in the room here. Yeah, I think I have my lesson plan book in my office. A huge binder of all my lesson plans. And my favorite basic lesson was Introduction to Lift, Drag. And I just love teaching it because it's fascinating. It really is fascinating. It's simple, but complex. And it's hard to understand that, but if the way I have matter of fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get my lessons plan here one of these days, and we're going to do a basics lift lesson. And once you understand the principles, it becomes very simple. Looking at lift from the outside, it's kind of complex and how it works, and different parts of the wings and cambers and all that stuff come into play. But when you understand fully the principles behind it and the science behind it, the math behind it, because math is precise, math is exact, then lift is like, oh, okay, I got it. And matter of fact, I would teach, I remember when I was learning to become an instructor, I was a CFI student. I was trying to get my instructor rating. And at the time, I had my girlfriend. I would teach her lift. I taught her lift probably a dozen times. Maybe that's why we broke up. But I remember she'd come over in my apartment, and I would teach her a lesson. The whole airframe generates lift, not just the wing. You're absolutely correct, Jeremy. You are absolutely correct. That's why different airframes have different properties and characteristics about them. Think about the F-15. When you think about military aircraft, the F-15 is one of the best lift aircraft out there because the fuselage is providing so much lift. That's why there was an F-15 that actually lost its wing, got blown off, and they were able to fly back with one wing because the amount of lift created from the fuselage itself was enough to keep the airframe sustained. And then you look at some most modern fighters, right? F-22, F-35, they all have this interesting body shape. Even look at some of the non-NATO aircraft like the Felon, the Su-27. You look at the fuselage, you can kind of see where they're all going. And then as versus looking back in the day, the older aircraft, not really as pronounced as far as creating lift. All right, we are leveling 1,000 feet to level off. Everything looks good. We're 344 miles from our destination. Let's take a look at our status here with our VAMPSIS. Right here, let's see how we're doing, making sure we're checking in here. Everything is good. So we're in the climb. Engine 1, Engine 2. We didn't miss anything here. Everything looks good. Look at our map. Check the weather for our destination. New York's going to be a beautiful day. I was just in Newark 2 days ago, so familiar with the area. We're looking good. Yeah, we were supposed to depart at when we were 1900 Z, so we were going to be a little late on that. Sorry, Piedmont. Going to have to write a delay report to you. But everything else looks good. So we're cruising along. Piedmont Virtual Historical Group Flight. Absolutely love it, man. We're going to have to do, we've done a lot of V-Spirits lately. We're going to have to do some more of these. We're definitely going to have to do some more of these because maybe back in SoCal again. Thomas Garcia, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. In your opinion, I'm 48. Am I too old to start flight training? No. To be a professional pilot, I've been flight simming since 1995 and have 80 hours in a 172. Thomas Garcia, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. You have a great question. The answer I'm going to give you is no. You are not too old to start flight training to be a professional pilot. However, there is, with your age being 48, let's say I would say a good goal would be you want to be in the airlines in 2 years, or you want to be like ready to go in 2 years. That way you have 15-year career. Where it gets not confusing, but where the hardest part for your decision-making process is going to be from a financial standpoint, because you are going to want to expedite your training as quick as possible. There's multiple ways to do that. The most common one that's in today's day and age is ATP flight schools. I mean, they can get you 0 to hero in a really quick amount of time. You can instruct, build hours, and get on your way. Now, the thing is that it's in order to accomplish all your ratings and stuff to get done in a decent amount of time, you're going to have to dive full in, 100%. Like, you're going to be flying every day or 3 days a week, whatever it is. If you try to do like maybe the hodgepodge route where you just do a little bit here, do a little bit there, you're probably going to get lost in time, and the efficiency of getting everything done is going to go by the wayside, and you may end up just burning a lot of money and not completing it. So number one, I'd recommend seriously looking at an institution, whether it's ATP or another type of flight school program that has a professional pilot program laid out for you, ready to go, where they say, here, you're going to start here, you end here, and we got interview lined up, or you have a job lined up at this regional. But it's that's definitely plausible. You're not too old. I wouldn't put age on it, but you have to think and you don't have to tell me, and I wouldn't expect you to, and I'm not trying to insinuate anything. Everybody has a different financial situation. You're gonna have to look at your own financials, and you're gonna be like, okay, this is gonna cost 80 to 100 grand if you go to the ATP route. Is it worth it? Is it feasible? And where are you gonna end up in the next 2-3 years? But as far as a hiring environment, it's a good time. I mean, I think you'll be in. I mean, shoot, they're hiring like crazy. Everybody's hiring. It's a good time. You have 15-year career, which is plenty long. Will you be a wide-body 777 captain? Probably not. You may end up being a wide-body 777 FO, or you might find yourself a captain slot. Probably be on reserve. But 15 years is plenty of time. That's a good career. So, absolutely, man. Hope that helps you out. Jeremy says, I just learned that the equal transit theory of lift is false. Now, Jeremy, what is the equal transit theory of lift? I'm not familiar with that term. Maybe I call it something else. Equal transit theory of lift. Is that have to do with the way airflow goes over the wing? So what is commonly taught, and maybe some of you instructors or students in chat might know this, so at least when I was going through flight training, commonly, hold on, pause. Look at that. Everybody, look at this cloud formation there. Nice little clouds, some fog out over the ground. This is real life. Smash the Kool-Aid button, because that is, look at that, just this little isolated patch, a little bit of fog there, some nice little clouds. The environment in the sim blows my mind. All right, back to what I was going to say about lift. So back in the day, there used to be an example giving a lift where basically, if you have a molecule of air hit the leading edge of the wing, it's going to split. Because the distance over the top of the wing, due to the shape of the wing, is longer than the distance under the wing, the molecule on top of the wing has to go faster in order to meet the same molecule at the end of the wing. That's why this air accelerates. That is not necessarily true. Okay, the molecule doesn't split and it doesn't meet up at the same point on the back of the wing. Now, I don't know if that's what that equal transit theory of lift is, but that actually used to be taught. As a matter of fact, I would hear guys teaching it, and I'm like, I wouldn't say anything, but I'm like, that's not necessarily true. It's the natural design of the wing with the camber on top of the wing, this curved part of the wing. We have to have a cross section of a wing. It's the shape and design of the wing that accelerates the molecules of air over the top. Because of that shape, they are accelerated. An increase in velocity on one side equals a decrease in pressure, right? So increase the velocity, you decrease the pressure on the surface area. So if you have all these molecules of air at high velocity, there's going to be low pressure on top of the wing and high pressure below the wing, i.e. lift. So there's your basic lift lesson. Because the molecules of air going below the wing are not going at the same speed as the molecules of air going over the top. Bernoulli's principle. Thank you, Javier. I was trying to think. I knew it. There's two of them. There's Bernoulli and then there's one other guy. But that is a false example of having air split it. No, it's the design of the wing is what accelerates the air, which decreases the pressure. The lower velocity air below the wing with the increase of pressure underneath the wing create lift. It's Newton's third law, equal action as is that the one? You guys are really, this is jogging the memory bank. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Correct. I'm trying to think of where that applies on lift. I know it does. I'm trying to draw an example. Maybe we'll skip that topic until I can refresh my memory. I'm just an Airbus pilot at the end of the day. I forgot a lot of that stuff. All I know is slow is bad, fast is good to an extent. A speed up equals pressure down. Yep, and also temperature. So temperature, with an increase of velocity equals a decrease in temperature, right? That is why we have to have anti-ice on even in warmer temperatures. So let's say that it's 9 degrees Celsius outside. And we'll look at the engine itself for this example. So if it's 9 degrees Celsius outside, it's obviously not a freezing temperature. Why do we need to turn engine anti-ice on if it's not freezing temperatures outside? And I think of the best example of this is if we relate this to an airplane on the ground. So if you've ever seen an airplane on the ground that's taxiing and the temperature and dew point is just right to where you see these little vortices come up off the ground and get sucked into the engine. You guys ever seen that? I might have to look up a YouTube video. Well, this is all going to be, I have a great idea. We're going to do lift lesson on our long haul. So our long haul flight from the finale of the South America tour, we're going to take the 340 from Rio de Janeiro to St. Martin. It's going to be our finale flight. During cruise, we're going to do some lessons, some actual legit. I'm a certified instructor. I will give you guys some free instruction on lift and a couple other principles of basics of airmanship and flying. But if the air temperature is not freezing, why would we need to turn engine anti-ice on? And the principle is increase of velocity equals a decrease of temperature. So air is being sucked into this engine, right? If you look at the shape of the engine nacelle, this is going to increase the velocity as well as the natural motion of the engine. The way the engine spools up the N1 fan, it's drawing air in, right? So we are increasing velocity of air into this engine outside of out here. So the air right here is a faster velocity than the air over here when we're taxiing. Thus, this temperature air is going to be decreasing. So if you have water molecules or puddles or anything on the ground that is wet, and even in flight, but I use the ground example because you can actually see it if you just look at airplanes taxiing. You see them suck up the water and you see the molecules getting accelerated into the engine. They could be cooling to a temperature of which is freezing. So even though it's 9 degrees outside, the increased velocity air here may be down to 0 C. And if it's just right, you could form ice out here, or you could also suck up ice, if you're taxiing on snow. But as far as water is concerned, that increase of velocity will decrease the temperature. So when we fly through a cloud, 8C, we turn on the engine anti-ice because we want to make sure we don't ice up here. Oh yeah, did my photogrammetry turn off? Thanks, Christy. Let's take a check. Did that actually just turn off now? Graphics, data. Pfft. I love Microsoft. We're going to stay here for a minute. We got to watch this. Trick question for V1. Uh-oh. What happens to true airspeed during ground effect? It increases. And we need to clear up some misconception about what causes a stall during your lesson, too. Ooh, Jeremy, good idea. Jeremy, bring your questions to the chat. Matter of fact, Jeremy, if you want, just post them in the Discord, and I will make a note of them. And if anybody has questions, you want to talk about basics, flying, airmanship, and all that stuff, that is a perfect topic to discuss during our long haul because we can really go down the rabbit hole. I'll make sure I'll have some video examples or whatnot as well. Mach Tuck V1. Okay, well, we're gonna avoid that one right now. But Mach Tuck is a very nasty situation. That's scary stuff. Mach Tuck can really. Luckily, you don't have to mess with that too much in civilian aircraft unless you're in an abnormal situation. But that really applies to much higher performance aircraft than the Airbus. But it doesn't mean it can't happen. You get in a unusual attitude, high altitude. Your nose is pointed down, your engines are up, you can get into Mach Tuck, and it is unrecoverable. So, in the Airbus anyway, a Mach Tuck scenario is virtually unrecoverable. Does Microsoft have the vortices? I don't know, Blue Mac. That's a great question. I don't know if it actually simulates wake turbulence. When is the live stream going to be? That sounds exciting. I'm not sure yet. It's going to be between Sunday and Friday next week. So I'm off all next week. I wanted to do it tomorrow, but there's a chance I'm going to fly tomorrow. So I'd hate to start a 6-hour long haul and then not have to be able to finish it or get called out and have to leave it. So I don't think it's going to be tomorrow. I was going to do Sunday, but it's football season, and I promised my baby girl we're going to get donuts in the morning. So probably not this weekend, unfortunately. But I'm not sure yet. Could be Monday or Tuesday. Whatever day it is, I will make sure we schedule it ahead of time. I already have the thumbnail made. Mach Tuck is due to the aerodynamic center of lift moving rearward. Mm-hmm. Jeff L., I see Microsoft doing Microsoft things. Yes, it is. Hey, well, we got 270 watching a please wait screen. I got to say, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and and hanging through Microsoft being Microsoft. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Nothing like having 270 viewers stare at a loading screen in a circle of death down here. Awesome. Appreciate you. Justin Worry. What? Okay, we'll just go a little bit longer. Then it's not my data. It's definitely Microsoft because I've got a gigabit connection here. But Justin Worry, thank you for that $20 super chat. Massive dono. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I don't see a message with your chat, but I do appreciate your support, and I hope you enjoy the flight. And I'm sorry that you have to stare at a menu screen here, general options, but it is what it is. Cheers. Chaos. That's too kind, man. Thank you, dude. Shining personality, huh? I appreciate that, man. Sometimes I get frustrated, no doubt. Activate X-Plane scenery mode. Oh my gosh, we're going to need an emoji for that, Jeff. We're going to need an X-Plane scenery mode activation or something like that. So anytime photogrammetry gets shut off in Microsoft, we can just paint the chat with the X-Plane scenery mode activated. Or maybe it would just be like an X-Plane activate emoji. We need that. Where are my emoji creators at? Are you guys in the chat? We're going to need to create that somehow. That would be a great one. Not really related, but tomorrow is my multi-engine IFR check ride. Ooh, do you have some final tips? It's my last rating for my ATPL course. I have PPL, CPL, and multi-engine. Nice. Multi-engine IFR check ride. The Canadian. Number one, do you know the profile that you're going to fly by chance? Like, do you know the airports you're going to fly to and the approaches you're going to do? If you know that already, if you have the gouge, chair fly it tonight. Chair fly it before you go to bed. And what I mean by chair fly, you could do it in the sim if you want to, if you have the sim set up, but you need to sit down, close your eyes, and literally visibly think about the whole profile of the flight, from takeoff all the way to your approaches, how you're going to configure between it for each approach. Manually just go over that one time tonight. Don't sit there and dwell on it. Just think, okay, I'm in the airplane, I'm flying here. This is my final approach fix, need to be configured from here. Cool, what's the next approach? This is the one I'm going to be looking at. These are my minimums. Is there any gotchas on this approach? Cool, move to the next one. You want to do that, number one. The IFR check ride, especially when you're doing it in a multi-engine, you can become very task saturated very quickly. So keeping your head in front of the airplane at all times is crucial, number one. That's why I suggest the chair fly or the sim tonight. Tomorrow, during your check ride, number one thing I'm going to tell you, and I tell it to everybody, is fly the airplane and make sure the airplane is where you want it to be. Do not let the airplane fly you. If you see yourself drifting on a localizer, if you see yourself drifting on a glide slope, that's not where you want to be. Do something. Correct it. Do not let the airplane begin to deviate from its tolerances, especially as you start doing, I don't know if you do RNP approaches or RNAV approaches, whatever it is. Even though you have a standard, ACS standard, I guess, of your deviations, do not wait for it to get that far. Stay on top of it, put your corrections in where you need your corrections, and just fly the airplane the way you want it to be flown. Don't accept anything less. That's my advice for you, man. You know all that. Takeoff from CYQB, direct GPS point, hold pattern, go over your hold entry, then first approach, LNAV, LPV, go around engine failure, second approach, LNAV or LPV. Boom. Pull out those charts, look at it, make sure single engine, you're configured properly. Make sure you're configured properly before coming down. Fly the airplane first. Hold pattern, the hold pattern back in the day was kind of the gotcha on the check rides. People would kind of fail, they turned the wrong way. Go over the hold pattern, go over your different entries. Think about winds. What type of wind corrections do you need? Think about all that ahead of time before you get going, because the weather's going to be different tomorrow. It may even be different than what's forecast. But keep us posted, man. I am sure you're going to pass with flying colors, and hey, at the end of the day, even if you don't, it's just a check ride. You can do it again. But you're going to be just fine. Fubar, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Just got home? Excellent. Well, we just got done loading the X-Plane scenery mode out of the sim. We are on our way to JFK. There is not JFK, no ATC on. That's all right. So we're going to do a step through our plan mode here. We are 235 miles. We'll probably start some prepping here early. We have constraint mode on. Let's kind of step through. There's nothing crazy, and we're doing the Expressway 3-1, so that ought to be fun. Let's go ahead and start pulling out some charts for LaGuardia. May your check ride slips not be pink. Exactly. All right, approach. And Expressway, let's do the Expressway. Long Island Expressway 3-1, Prospect Park, White Tanks, Dials, and head out. I like that better. Let's do that, huh? If we don't have ATC, we'll just do it. We're going to be able to do what we want anyway. So arrival is the MIP 4, or the Milton 4. We'll pull this chart out. Let's take a look at it. Thanks. My last check ride, starting my Dash 8 ground school in 2 months. Awesome. So trying to do my best to get good impressions of the airline that hired me. Canadian, that's very exciting, man. Good stuff. That's very exciting. I'm happy for you. Can you talk yourself through stuff as you do it on your check ride and vocalize what you're doing? Absolutely, Jeremy. Absolutely. a matter of fact, I would encourage students to do that. I'd be like, what are you doing now? Like, vocalize it. Tell yourself what you're doing, because you'll be amazed at what can happen when you vocalize what you're supposed to be doing. It really does help. It really does help. And absolutely, you don't have to sit there and be silenced. So Mark is expected to cross at 18, a Biley at 13. That's going to mess us up. Let's just do, let's do Biley at 13,000. Insert. That's going to adjust our TOD, I think, here pretty close. We might have enough for Mark at 18. No, we'll just do Biley at 13. So we're going to do Biley at 13,000. And then after Biley, these are expects. That's why they're not in the FMS. So this is another real-world tip. You're looking at a star like this, and it just says expect. They're not going to be hard-coded into your database. But if you're expecting them, it doesn't hurt to put them in the box, because once you get them, then you're already ahead of the game, right? Always staying in front of the airplane. We're just talking about that IFR check ride. Stay ahead of the game. Never let the airplane be somewhere your head hasn't been to at least 30 seconds before. So Beauty is expect at 10,000 feet. Yeah, just don't vocalize it on ATC. Yeah, don't hot mic it. Beauty is at 10, so we'll do dash 10,000 feet right here. We're going Harlem Apple Proud. Now I want to see where this, because this is linked to the loc. We're gonna put a disco in here. Apple Proud. We're gonna disconnect it after Proud. So I'm gonna put in T. That work? No. Sure. Clear that out. Insert. So now I've inserted a disco after Proud. That's what I want. All right, so that's good. Let's look at our RadNav page and our progress page. We're going to need to hard tune a couple things here. I'm also going to set 10,000 feet on the FCU in preparation for our descent. We're getting close. We are almost about there. Let's go ahead and start down already. Let's just go ahead and mash it forward. Mock descent. Start your descent early. That way you don't have to drive down to get it. Mock des. What is our cost index descent speed? Why are we... Oh, we never reached our cruise altitude? Why was our cruise 10,000? I'm not going to be able to do that. There we go. Now we got it. So we're mock descent. There's our speed target window. We never reached top of climb, I guess. I didn't have it in the progress page correctly. So that's why the airplane was never in cruise mode. It was in out mode. It wasn't an out cruise. We're going to level here at 36, and then I'm going to reset 10. Or it's already set. This is kind of weird. So I'm curious to see what it does. Out star. And now I'm going to push it in. There we go. Now it's our vertical deviation on econ descent window. So we just had to resequence the FMGCs. So we've got our econ descent window. We've got a vertical profile. 13,000 magenta. 10,000 is set. That's for a hard altitude at, what's that? Booty. Expect to cross at 10,000. Apple Proud will vector off. Now let's look at the approaches again. Matter of fact, I just started. So let's just do star charts. Expressway 31. Hell of a lot of fun. Hit dials, which is the white tanks. Follow the Long Island Expressways, Flushing Meadow Park. Now there is some guidance. You want to be at least flaps 3 160 over dials. So I'm going to come back here to my flight plan page just as a refresher or a reminder. Apple Proud, and then dials. So matter of fact, I'm going to make Proud. We're going to click this, and I'm going to do a 180 speed constraint on it anyway. So we're slowing down in time. Keeping myself ahead of the airplane, right? We could track the loc, but basically we're just going to be visual. So everything looks good there. I've also got the loc 3.1 in there just as a reference. We're not even going to use it. Matter of fact, we're going to put the glide slope mode on because we're flying. We've backed it up with a loc to 3.1. We don't want any false glide slopes. We don't want to be listening to any glide slope in the background, even though theoretically that should not happen in the first place. But good practice, good airmanship. We're on a loc. get that glide slope push button up to inhibit that. We're going to land flaps full, manual brakes, full reverse. And let's run a landing data assessment. Do any 320s have HUDs? Some do, you know. I have not seen any in the US though, but I think there are some that have maybe charter or some privately owned ones. But I know it can have a HUD. Very, very uncommon. I don't think it's a standard option. 138.0 is our current weight. We'll plan a low brakes, full reverse, flaps full, manual landing, and we're landing on 3-1. Applied the METAR, and it is dry and good. Medium brakes. Alright, so between medium brakes and standing on the brake pedals, we need about 4,800. 5,500 feet total with an additive. Was that a 1.15? Not sure. Landing distance remaining feet. That can't be right. Landing distance 48.29. This looks like it's some type of additive, so we'll just use that. 5,500 feet should be good. A HUD is mandatory in China. All 7.3s and 320s in China are required. Wow, did not know that. That's crazy. Did not know that. All right, landing LaGuardia. Piedmont, where should I park this bad boy? Ground charts, because we have that new scenery. Yeah, we're gonna go down to the deltoids. We'll go down here. This new terminal is actually pretty nice. So landing 3-1, we'll double back, probably Tango, Hotel Juliet, spot 12 Alpha, 19 Alpha. This is all RJ stuff back here. Main Delta terminal, and then American, Southwest, Frontier, I think are all around on this side. Landing distance required. Maybe that's what it is. Landing is required. Thank you. All right, I'm fully briefed. You're fully briefed. Let's just keep we'll just keep the expressway visual chart up because we don't have ATC on, so we're not worried about the MIP4. We've already got our specs in there. Let's do a quick brief over this. Vertical guidance, nav aid, PAPIs, right side 3 degrees. When cleared for expressway 3-1, while LaGuardia VOR cross dials at 2,500 or above. Matter of fact, let's throw in dials. Oh, I need to put the destination data in there as well. We can put dials in manually. It's an actual database waypoint. And then we can even do this. Dials, I want to be 160, 2,500 feet. Oh, I couldn't do both. 160? Nope. I feel like my mouse is dying. I don't think this is a Microsoft thing. My mouse is starting to give me issues. 2,500. In descent. Insert. Boom. Alright, so that is all set up. We're on the descent down to the garbage. Don't forget to select GSX. Thank you, Christy. I will try not to forget that as well. We can put our LS push the button on for the loc reference, I guess. Not really a huge issue. That might help us with the turn since we don't have track IR on. But I think we're looking good. Everything else is done here. And let me get flight recorder primed up and ready. Ernie's loving the HUD. I haven't seen any big Ernie videos in a while. Master Warning, what's going on, man? You flew this approach in the 727 and 320 for Northwest Airlines. Wow. A blast from the past, man. Well, welcome on board. I hope I can do it some justice here. It's going to be a little bit difficult not being able to turn my head and look out the window, but we will try our best. I was going to do one more thing over here, and I forget what it was. We did landing data. We did everything else, right? So we're good. All right. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think we'll be fine. We are looking good. Let's just make sure X-Plane 11 scenery mode is not on. which it is. Let's see if we can turn it on. Come on, baby. Turn on for me now. Kevin Thomas says, hi everyone, sorry for the repeat. What would you say the acceleration on takeoff roll is a bit overemphasized? The acceleration on takeoff, to me it feels like the aircraft reached V1 5 to 10 seconds. Have you noticed this? I haven't noticed anything glaring, Kevin. But you know what I used to do in X-Plane is I took some time and acceleration numbers in the real airplane, and then I applied it to TOLUS and X-Plane 11. I think I should do that for this. So while I haven't noticed anything glaring in the sim, and especially since I always do Toga, I just expect it's going to be faster, I'll have to take a look at it. I don't have any definitive answer for you just yet, man, unfortunately. But I'm going to dig into that, because that was one of the first tests I did when the TOLUS 321 came out. I did a performance test. I took a real 321, loaded up the weights. I recorded all the weights, temperatures, all the environmentals, same runway, and I took off an X-Plane 11. And the times between 0 and V1 and 0 and rotate and gear up were all pretty much spot on. So I'd be very curious to see. In Microsoft. I might even have some. I wouldn't have any times on it though. I'll look into it, Kevin. It's a good question. Big Daddy, did you bind your controls to be able to move freely about the cabin? And did you bind your controls to save? So like left control plus 1 equals save preset cockpit view 1. And then did you bind just numpad 1 is go to preset cockpit view 1. If you have those bound, it's very easy. This is how you do it. You move out of the cockpit, open the door. My door's open. You go back here to where you want to set a wing view. I want to set this view right here, and you could bind the down key or whatever, but maybe you want to be right here. Just hit left control 1, and then that view would be saved. And then you go back and you could hit left control 1. Now obviously I didn't do it, but that's how you do it in the Fenix particularly. So that video gets your control binding set up. You do not need to edit the CFG for the Fenix. But that's how you do it. You literally move the camera out of the cockpit, put it where you want it to be, and save the view. Yes, I'm on a US server. That might be why. Yeah, Big Daddy, dude, the CFG is only for airplanes that lock you into the cockpit. The PMDG is one of those airplanes where you cannot move your camera out of the cockpit. So that is why I suggest watching that video, but I should have emphasized. In the Fenix, you don't need to do that CFG edit. You can manually move the camera out. But in the PMDG or other airplanes, you're going to have to hack your camera out of the cockpit view. Let me look at the real-world METAR here. Wrong button. I did not set arrival data. Thank you. Right now, LaGuardia 360 at 310 miles. That's what I forgot to do. I knew there was something. I'm going to set a barrel reference of 500 feet. 500 feet being for the 320. 900 feet being for a 321. That's just for an autopilot reference above ground level. It's basically sea level. We'll call it 500. We'll call it 50. We'll call it 600. We'll round up because it's not exactly sea level. We'll do 600 feet there, but it's 500 feet above touchdown zone is your reference altitude for getting the autopilot off. If you were in a 321, you would be 900 feet above field elevation. QNH is 3013 and 24. We are set to go. Oh my, we have a nice gifted sub in chat. Guys, thank you so much. Josh at the Disco. Let me go ahead and pause the alert box. Even though I love hearing that seatbelt sign on. Oh my God, these views. Mr. Josh at the Disco has gifted 10 memberships to you guys in chat. If you guys are picking up a membership right now, make sure you shout out Josh at the disco. Tell him thank you, Josh. I can't be more grateful. Thank you so much, man, for that. I really appreciate that donation and that kind gesture. Gesture is kind of a weird word when you think about it, but thank you so much, man. And if you guys are picking up a membership for the first time now, courtesy of Mr. Josh, make sure you hit the exclamation point welcome button, or just click on the same link that comes up when everyone else hits the exclamation point welcome button. You have now gained access to all of your perks on the channel here at V1. The community tab is where I post most of my community or my members only content. So go to the YouTube V1 YouTube panel, community tab, boom. That's where I post my videos. Also in the Discord, if you have Discord, you can sync up your accounts. And I also posted in the V1 After Dark section, which is just exclusive to members only. So welcome on board, guys. MVP in the house, Mr. Josh. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Love seeing an all green chat. I know, it's awesome. It is awesome. The support you guys have been giving me is just absolutely incredible. I'm very humbled, and I can't thank you guys enough for the continued support. You know, I often think, like, man, how many times can I stream where people are going to want to watch me stream or listen to me talk about stuff? And I keep coming back. You guys keep coming back, and the support is absolutely incredible. I'm extremely grateful for each and every single one of you, whether you are a member, a subscriber, just someone who wants to phantom watch. Hit the like button, and even if you hit the dislike button, I do appreciate you for giving me that extra view. So you guys are awesome. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't even know who that was that filled up with so many gifts already. Chuck Blake gifting 20 subscribers. Another massive subscription gift, guys. V1 Nation, exactly, Fubar. Guys, Mr. Chuck, thank you so much, man. That is a huge, huge support and a gesture of kindness, man. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Guys, same thing. Shout him out. Tell him thank you. That is awesome. That's just spreading the love, man. That's I really love that about this community here, and especially here with the V1. Like, help each other out. We may get frustrated with each other sometimes. We may poke fun at each other's sim platforms from time to time. But at the end of the day, it's all about being good to one another and having respect and gifting subs. I mean, that's awesome. That is a really awesome thing. Love to see that. Thank you. We starting our own country now. V1 Nation. I like it, Blue Mac. I like it, dude. Is the membership YouTube the same as a sub on Twitch? I'm unfamiliar with that. I'm unfamiliar with Twitch, unfortunately. I'm not quite sure. What memberships are is you get extra content. So for my private pilot members, I post polls and content to a special section of the Discord for only private pilot members. I post videos, podcasts are out. I've got a couple series of podcasts out. For members only, and same thing for commercial pilots. They get all of that plus a little bit more. They also have a separate section on the Discord, and I can post. Whenever I make a post, whether it's a community post or I release a video or any type of content, I can select who I put it to. I can put it to just the masses, all the subs, or I can put it to private pilots or commercial pilots or any combination. So that's kind of what memberships are. It's a way to support the channel and drive the channel, and it's a way for me to give back a little bit more for those who want a little bit more out of the channel, a little bit more content, and that. So that's kind of what memberships are. That's the gist behind memberships here on YouTube. Chuck Blake says V1 is the streamer to watch for all things Airbus. A3XX. Hey, Chuck, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Glad you're enjoying it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the support. You guys are awesome. This is going to turn into members only, I know. Andy Tuss has joined as well, private pilot. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for the support, my friend. You guys are awesome. Have you ever tried to understand Canadian approach ban? Was talking to Sunwing 73 captain. They said he wishes the approach ban were the same in the U.S. I'm not sure what that is. I'm unfamiliar with that Canadian. I think I've I might have heard that term, but I'm drawing a blank on what it refers to, unfortunately. What do I think about the 220? It's a neat-looking airplane. That's an oversized regional jet. I wish 319neos were coming out instead of more 220s, but that's really... I've never flown it, so I don't really have any opinions on it, but hey, man. The more airplanes we get, the better, right? I always wonder, is the dot for the altimeter necessary as the two systems use no over... Yeah, so Chaos, you're talking about in the McDo? So someone asked me that last stream, and I tested it yesterday in the real airplane. It's like, can you really put 3013 here without a dot? And in the real airplane, it would say out of range. And that is just because our airplanes are configured here in the States for using HG units of measure as a standard. So if you had it set to do hectopascals, like up here, then you could put hectopascals in your McDo. But if you have HG selected and you put in 3013 without a dot, it will say entry out of range. It won't let you do it. So you have to have them synced up. That's so you can avoid, then it makes sense when you think about it. It's so you avoid confusing the unit of measure and maybe having a conflicting altitude or something like that. But yeah, that's somebody brought it up that last stream, and then I went flying. I'm like, I gotta try it. In Canada, if the RVR is under 1,200 feet and you get the RVR before the final approach fix, you can't start the approach, but there's like 10 things that can change the band itself. That sounds very complicated. So, I'm trying to think. In the U.S., you're legal to start, you're legal to finish, because it's in-flight visibility versus reported visibility. I wonder if that's kind of what's going on. K6! K6, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I'm gonna go pick up a pack of Costco croissants. Oh my god, I love those. In preparation for the long-haul Airbus stream. K6, dude. That's awesome, man. Bring me one. Bring me a couple, because those are tasty. Thank you for the support, man. Appreciate you. Those Costco croissants those are good stuff. That's good stuff. I like the ones that aren't burnt. The last time I went to Costco, I was going through their bakery section. I don't know what happened with all the Costco cooks post-COVID. It's like they overcook everything. The Danishes are overcooked. They're all like brown and burnt. And the croissants were all like really dark brown. So I don't know what happened. Where are my pre-COVID Costco cooks? Say that 5 times fast. Costco pizza's 725 calories per slice. Don't tell me. I'm going to delete that comment because I'm going to go pick up a piece of pizza tomorrow. If you put something like 3013 in HPA, it would still put you out of range. There are actual boundaries as far as I know. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I'm sure there are actually, as far as being in the right setting. But what I was saying was still true. So like even if I put 2992 without a decimal point, or if I put 1013, well, that wouldn't make sense. Even if I put 1013 without a decimal point in Q and H mode in HG, it would still trigger a entry. What did it say? Entry out of range. That's all it would. Because it thinks if you're trying to put in a hectopascal and you put in a decimal, it can't accept it. At least that's how our boxes work. Trust me, I tried a whole variety of different numbers. Could not get it to take. All right, let's go ahead and descend and maintain 5,000 feet here. We're going with 5,000 feet. We have no ATC, so let's just go ahead and light it up right now. Lights are coming on. And let's activate and confirm the approach phase. Activate it and confirm. What do I have in there? Did I RNAV something? What approach did we put in here? Did I put the RNAV in here? Huh. What? That's not the active route. Never mind. Oh well. Did you fly cargo to build time for 1,500 hours, or did you CFI route? I did CFI and then I went cargo. I did CFI, I think I left around 1,200 hours of CFI, over 1,000 dual given. And then I went and flew cargo. Yep. Yeah, some require 1500 to start. Yes. So I did a couple things. I flew some hodgepodge cargo first. I was also flying. I was going through this with Christy in the chat earlier, but I was an instructor. And then I was doing some citation stuff on the side from word of mouth. And then I needed more turbine PIC time, so then I did some hodgepodge cargo, and then I actually went to a full-blown freight operator, turbine PIC, and then I realized I liked my life and I wanted to go to the airlines, and then that's how that turned out. So we're 7.5 descending to 5,000 feet, 250 knots. The juice is about to start popping off here. This is, oh my God, these views, guys. I just flew into Newark 2 days ago, and the views here are awesome. This is exactly what it looks like. Yeah, it's in RNAV. So with loc approaches, Nick, I think you're right. With loc approaches, it makes the airplane think it should be in RNAV for some reason. That's why it was flashing loc at me. Incorrect simulation there. I wouldn't do that. It might just be a setting, the old school software. I do not know. But in our airplane's current database, that wouldn't happen. You load a loc approach, you would have the LS push button on because you need a localizer to track. So it wouldn't be giving me that VDEF brick. The juice is loose. Standard QNH 950 and 1050, so anything above that won't work. I got you, Christy. So what if I put, so like I did yesterday or whatever, if I put 1013 in here with no dot, it shouldn't take it. Yeah, see, in the real airplane, it wouldn't take that. Speed Alt Star. Just completed week 1 of ADX, all about weather theory. Oh my God, props to all you PICs. Hey, Captain AB. Weather theory is a hell of a fun one, isn't it? Welcome to the stream, man. At least you got done with it. At least you're all done with it. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Oh my God, we gotta look outside real quick. That is awesome. Look at that livery. Love it. We gotta get down. I gotta take a lab break. Me too, Key 6. Chaos, you're right. It might also be an option. You're absolutely right, man. I feel like I need to have a disclaimer on my description of every video I do. It's like, no matter what I say, if it's about an Airbus, it probably has an option, and I'm probably wrong. So, but you're absolutely right, man. There's so many different options for airplanes. I mean, you should see, you just look at like a maintenance book. So like our mechanics book, or from the pilot sample, we call it an MEL, a minimum equipment list. And if you look up one item, so for instance, what I have the other day, I think we had something silly. It was like a folding wheelchair or something was busted. So I looked up the MEL, and it had, like, for all the different tail numbers, we divide our tail numbers into mods, basically. And it had, okay, for this tail number, mod this. You do this. And then for this tail number, mod this. And there was probably 4 or 5 of them. And I'm like, really? It's just a folding wheelchair. But it was all talking about the different configurations and options for that aft galley where the wheelchair goes. So that's just one simple example of how there could just be so many different options out there. And, you know, airlines get airplanes from different operators that are configured different, and it just, hats off to the maintenance and records people, because they actually have to sort that stuff out. I just pull up the book and I look at the tail number. I'm like, okay, we're good. But the mechanics and the maintenance guys, they have to actually sort through all that and separate them out. Be like, oh, this one doesn't have this wing, this specific mod on the wing, so the flap limitation is different or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, the bowling shoe, master warning. Absolutely love this livery, man. Yeah, they got a bunch of different galley configs, Lauren. Do you have to train people as a CFI to be able to get to the airlines? I wouldn't say you don't have to train as a CFI. You could go another route. You could go get your time another way. You do not have to do it that way. Let's descend and maintain 3,000. We'll get down a little bit lower. We're going to loosen the juice up here. But yeah, Peyton, you can do, as long as you get your flight time to be competitive, which I think now is pretty much just 1,500 an hour, right? Just basic ATP. As long as you can get your times one way or the other. I knew guys that did banner towing, things like that. Because you can go tow banners at 250, 300 hours. Matter of fact, my first regional job, one of the guys in the interview, that's what he did. He was a banner tower. Needless to say, he didn't get the interview because all he did is take off and fly in a straight line and turn around, fly in a straight line, turn around, fly in a straight line. Built up all his time that way, and he couldn't fly the CRJ sim. So back in the day, we actually had to do sims. We actually had to do sims for the interview. So my first regional, they didn't even operate CRJs anymore. There were no more CRJs on property, but we had to go do a CRJ 200 CRJ 200 sim. So you had to go in, do an ILS approach, do steep turns, do stalls. I think that was pretty much it. You did air work, and then you did an approach to minimums in an airplane that you'd never even seen. I mean, if you hadn't flown flight sim, like if you hadn't flown FS 2000 or 98, whatever sim were out at that time, like you'd be like, oh my God, here we go. Like if the last thing you flew was a Cessna 152 flying banners and you had to do an ILS to minimums at a CRJ 200, good luck. Do I prefer cargo over CFI? If I'm being completely honest with you, cargo is more fun, but CFI is, I think, an essential part of becoming a good aviator, because you don't realize how much you don't know something until you have to teach it. Like, you don't know anything until you have to teach that subject, because in order to teach something, and to teach something well, you have to know way more than what you're teaching. So, for example, if I want to teach about lift, I have to know way more about lift than I'm even willing to teach you. That is what makes a good teacher, whether it's aviation, education. It doesn't matter what you're teaching, what the subject is. They're VFE next -10, flaps 1. But you have to know more about the subject. And I think that's why being a CFI is an essential step in building time and becoming a pilot. But it's, if I'm being completely honest with you, yeah, I think I had more fun flying freight. Yeah, it's a little bit more exciting. It doesn't mean I did not have fun being a CFI either. MT, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate that. I had said that if I could get a private lesson on this, I'd gladly pay. I'm a man of my word. Thank you so much for the tips. Camera view set. Awesome stuff, Big Daddy. We'll be flying later tonight. Gotta roll. Have a good one. Hey, Big Daddy, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad we got your sim set up and rocking. Got your wing views. Makes me happy. Thank you for the super chat. Have a good rest of your day. Chaos, exactly. You never say I don't know. You never say I don't know. You say, let me look that up. All right, I got to descend down to 2,500. Not quite sunset. I wish it was sunset. Oh my goodness. And I know this is kind of like, since we don't have fly live, it doesn't matter if we accelerate it just a little bit, right? Just a little. We won't do full-blown sunset. All right, let's go ahead and select heading. 160 knots. I like to be 160, flaps 3, 2,500 feet. Speed alt star heading. Let's go flaps 3, add a sequence, VFE next -10, flaps 3. Beautiful night. There's a Statue of Liberty over there. Oh my. Let's go ahead and start the recording. Should we start it now? That's a long record. We'll start it at dials. Oh my. Screenshot. Guys, guess what? This is all default too. I mean, yeah, we could have some more popped up sceneries, but because I'm in the Phoenix, I had to pull my draw distance down a little bit. Hopefully Sim Update 10 will be able to crank it out a little bit further. Oh, here we go, downtown New York. I'm probably going to be able to see my sister's building again. She lives right down here in Brooklyn Heights. Where is dials? We got 5. All right, let's start the recording. I don't want to wait anymore. I do have the Mad Dog for Flight Sim. I haven't flown it in a while because I don't, on a basic principle level, I do not appreciate how Leonardo did that whole scenario. I do not think it is worth the money with our current add-ons out there. with that being said, it's got some very good system simulation. A little bit of tweaking with the aileron effectiveness in the main setting of the Mad Dog EFB. It flies pretty good from what I've been told. But personally, I don't know, we might fly it a little bit. So literally, guys, my sister lives like right here. I'm pretty sure her building is like maybe this one. Oh, Brooklyn Bridge. Look at that. There's the Hudson. East River, right? East River? Man. Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. Oh, we're probably past the white tanks. All right, there's the white tanks, twin white tanks. We're going to hand fly this. I'm going to turn off the FO's flight director so I don't have to deal with that later. Let's go tiller cam on. Recorder is on. Let's go autopilot off. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Manage speed. Failure now, so you can do a solely. Alright, let's go ahead and start the turn. Let's just fly this puppy. There's the expressway. Let's go gear down. I know our speed's a little bit low. We're riding that V-app. That's alright. I only have so many hands. We'll set 3,000 for a go-around. Oh, we set 3,000 for the go-around. Didn't mean to pull that. 3,000 is set. VFX -10, flaps full, landing checklist, we're on the expressway. Oh, this replay is going to be absolutely fire. Yep, replay is up and recording. We're on the expressway, we're on speed, we're looking good. LaGuardia traffic, Northwest 357 on the expressway 31, LaGuardia. Am I on Unicom? I am. So we're going to take it out, and we want to turn in at Flushing Meadow Park, City Field. So right here, we want to keep it nice and tight. Don't want to get too low here. A little bit low. Should be about 1,500 here. I think I'm just a tad low, correcting. Now, yeah, it shouldn't be V-deving me. For some reason, it doesn't give me my vertical. I don't know. That's weird. We won't worry about it. There is a Bing City Park, City Field. I should have pre-downloaded the scenery before we flew in here. The park visual, yeah. So Flushing Meadow Park, City Field is down there. Park is right here. Keep her coming down.
1,000.
Be rolling out around 500 feet. There's the ballparks. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll watch the replay. We'll watch the replay. Fly the airplane. Fly the airplane. Let's go. We can't biff this landing now. Now I'm a little bit higher than I want it to be. Let's pick up that descent rate a little bit. We're going to knock it in about 1,000 feet per minute here. A little bit wide on this turn. ATC would be like, you got the field? Because you are way out there, boys. Come on down, come on down. Don't level there, don't level there.
Minimum.
Autopilot is off, check. We're rolling out. We see 4 whites. Oh, shoot. Ground spoiler, armed. Thank you. Thank you, Airbus. Ooh, we're high. Come on. We gotta be stable. We're stable. We're a little high. Let's see how high we are over the numbers. I think we'll be alright. 50 feet high. Whoa, check. Sorry.
40, 30, 20, retard. 10.
I wanted the butter. Ooh, we floated.
5.
We floated that one out, but I wanted the butter. $70 knots. Yeah, ATC would be like, really? Really? Really, Northwest? Alright, turn left at the end, contact ground. Would not be happy about that. Hey, it is what it is. Really? 320 had to roll the end? It was okay. I'm not giving you a number today. Exactly. We were legal. Had that little sink rate coming in there. A little unstable. Little unstable, but we were safe. We were safe. It's your runway. Use all you want. Yes, exactly. All right, let's go ahead and clean it up. LaGuardia traffic, Northwest 357. We'll clear of 13, taxi to the ramp. LaGuardia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the garbage. Everybody's been partying in the back all the way down. We survived. That's all that matters. All right, let's go ahead and stop the recording. We're ready to go. That recording is going to be nice. Just a little bit of unstableness. We rolled out. The spoiler thing hit me, and we overshot, corrected, a little bit of sync. It's a good approach to analyze what went wrong there. You know, just a little distraction like that is enough to kind of, I wouldn't say destabilize. That landing was pretty legal from a legal standpoint, but it wasn't the best, I'll tell you that. I have definitely done better. Why is it called the garbage? Because it's actually built on a pile of garbage. Literally. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look right ahead, you will see New York's finest trash compactor. Locals call it LaGuardia. Shack oatmeal. What's going on, man? What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. I see you fully have committed to the Microsoft train, my friend. I remember you were coming in here on chat and you're like, should I get Microsoft? Is it worth the hassle? And now, every time you're streaming, hey, 737, Phoenix, 737, Phoenix. I love it, dude. I love it. We'll take her down to the Delta gates. Oh, GSX, what do I do, Christy? Christy, what do I do? All right, so let me stop here real quick because I want to see marshalling. So I'm going to stop. Let's pull up the 10-9. We actually have to pick a gate number, right? So ground charts, parking gates. I want to see GSX marshal us. Let's go to 79 at 12 Alpha. So we're going to go 79. So GSX. Oh, look, we just saw that guy land too. Awesome. All right. Gate C. Oh, I forget. Terminal C, yeah. And I want... What spot? Too small. 19. What are those? Oh, no. Is it thinking of concourse? No. Next. Gate 33. Oh, no. It's putting me in a concourse B. Interesting. Where's 49? Alright, let's just pick one. 55? 60? Let's pick 60. It's mislabeled, yeah. I'm gonna request to follow me because I don't know where, because it's a little, I think it's mislabeled. We want Delta. And we're going to go ahead and stand by. Marshaller's been dispatched. Follow me is on its way. So brakes are set. I did click C. I swear I clicked C. But did I not click C? I swear I clicked C. You just clicked gates? Oh, no. 59 seconds. Well, let's go ahead and turn off our lights since we're sitting here. Ah, I thought I clicked C. I didn't. Dang it. I clicked gates. Rip. I can change a gate? Change parking facility. Gate C. I think they're mislabeled though. C39. Yes. Oh no. I follow this one. Marshal has been dispatched. Follow me. Let's go. Yeah, B concourse is C. Yeah, it's the wrong. I selected. I didn't know if it wanted concourse or gates. I should have just went gates. Oh well. Rip. Yeah, that's why I hate LaGuardia. Terminal C does not have concourse C. I didn't know if it was wanting C concourse or C gates. Because it said gates C. So, rip. We're going to the wrong gate, P monitor. Going to the wrong gate, and we're taxiing in ghost mode too. Oh no, we got it on. Damn, that follow me car is hustling. Doing 20 knots. This is the feel there, correct. Next time fly to an airport that has an actual profile, not this garbage. Hey, well, it's only fitting for the garbage. I didn't know I was doing Formula 1 here on the way to the gate. Jeez, 25 knots on the ground here. The follow me feature may have you sold. Yeah, you can slow them down in settings. This is why I keep it easy. The mat, yeah, going over to the mat. The Marine Air Terminal is nice, dude. It sucks if you have to commute out of the Marine Air Terminal, but it makes it easy. You know where you want to go. Yeah, I'm going to need to change the knots down on this guy. This is a default Southwest follow me car. But they wouldn't even have follow me cars at Southwest. They just go where they want to go, even if it's off the end of the runway. All right. Oh, brakes, brakes. Turn right. Okay. Oh, I see where we're going. All right, we'll get out of the way. I see where we're going. Right here. There's my marshaller. We'll kill the lights. All right, this is cool because this is real. That's pretty real. So we're coming into the gate. Kill the lights. I feel like that safety zone is clear. I got 1, 2. I should have a third marshaller. I actually have to set the brake here, call ops. Hey, we need a third marshaller. We don't have a wing walker out here because that truck looks awfully close too. All right, C-36 is where we're going. I gotta straighten her out here. I know I need to go left. I know I need to go left, but you want me straight, don't you? Blue would have done a better job marshalling me for sure. Now we lost the wand. Feather the brakes. Feather the brakes. Erp. Erps in chat. Brake set. How'd we do? Oh, we overshot it by a little bit. Oh, we were way left. That marshaller sucked. Let's pull ground power. Because I didn't start the APU because I forgot. So GPU. That's the wrong gate? Really? Oh, I should have went to that one? Well, we all screwed up. It's all screwed up. Blame the marshaller, not your parking skills. Let's spool it down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the garbage. We had a total garbage arrival. It is what it is. We're going to have a nice replay, though. Alright, now we could unload the airplane, but for sake of time, I want to get out of here at a decent time. So let me go. The flight may now be ended. File PIREP. Sorry for going to wrong gate. PIREP is filed. And we are good on our VA. So we'll close that. We will go into replay cam. We will disconnect from VATSIM. And we don't need sail just yet. So hang on. What's the company message all about? What do we have a message about? Receive messages. Oh, arrival. 22302Z. All right, cool. We're going to dismiss that. I want to go panel states. I'm going to try this. Panel states ready. Activate. let's just get our engines on. Do the replay. PVA has no ACAR, so that's not fun. All right, Piedmonter. What's up with that? No ACARs for PVA? I guess that would be pretty hard with historic gate assignments. I could see where that could be pretty challenging. All right, that is on. Let's get our lights on. That way we don't have to listen to the clicking sound and look like a Hawker 800 with the bird lights on replay mode. So that's all set, and I think the seatbelt sign was off for the approach like a total noob, so we're good there. We'll disconnect from you, and let's watch this replay. We'll get rid of that. And here we go. Oh, yeah. Let's enjoy this. Gentle reminder for the paper rip sound. You got it, man. I will not forget. Let's kind of skip forward to the landing. We'll watch that, and then we'll leave a nice long one for the replay, or for the last replay with sail. So we're coming around here. Resume from right here. Let's watch it from the window view as the scenery loads back up. I'm dying for someone to do decent Tampa. I know, me too, man. You would think Flight Tampa, exactly. Oh, look at the skyline and the sun set over there. That's cool. Preload the scenery, Jack Hogan, so you can actually download ortho in the data section of Microsoft Flight Sim. So you can pre-download areas around airports, that way you don't have to load into it and stream it. These trainees nowadays, I know. All right, let's see how we did from the window view. That's exactly what it's like on the real aircraft. Awesome, Master Warning. That's what it looks like. Coming down. That little spool up there kind of got me too. I went for the butter right there. A little too much over flare, but we set her down. We have plenty of runway. Oh, that looked awesome. Still in the touchdown zone. I'm not going to trigger the reversers for replay mode just yet. Let's watch this one. Let's watch it from this side. That little window shake was awesome. Exclamation point specs stooge will get you that information. And my settings, I have screenshots of all of them in the Discord. So check them out in the FS 2020 pin section. Yeah, just a little bit of flow, but we were good. That sound, that touchdown sound is 10 for 10. All right, let's see how we did from the outside view, and then we are going to get out of here. And I got a new Pew Pew at home I want to go play with, so we got to wrap it up. Yeah, a little bit of float. I went for the butter there. It's Northwest. I had to impress them. Ooh, that wasn't bad at all, though. I'll take it. I will take it. Oh, look at that. Screenshot, 100% screenshot that right there. That looks awesome. All right, guys. This was not auto brake 3, just manual brakes. Frozen hard butter. That's what I think it was. I think it was a frozen butter. Matter of fact, what did my it said 183. It said my last one was a 183. So I'll take it. I'll take a 183 according to the PVA pilot report I filed. So guys, I had a lot of fun with this. Hopefully the Cowboys don't suck. Thank you, Fubar. I needed that. It's going to be an interesting weekend for me on the football front, but guys, I hope you enjoyed this stream. I had a lot of fun with it. Looking forward to our long haul stream we're going to be doing in the 340 here to do the finale Latin America tour. Want to give a shout out to Piedmont Virtual Historical Group. Awesome place to fly your retro airliners, your retro liveries on real routes with all the real data that is available. I mean, these guys, Piedmonter and them, have worked tirelessly to get accurate simulation for you, and it's a lot of fun. There's a different level of satisfaction when you do an old school retro flight and you do it complete to the most realistic extent possible. So Shout out to them. And last but of course not least, shout out to all the donations today. A couple of massive member donations. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the super chats, the new subscribers, the likes. You guys are awesome. Everyone else hanging out in chat, I love you guys just as much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Have fun flying your sims around. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya!